Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome to Mass Effect Andromeda. Time to return to that galaxy in the... was it the 2500s now or something? But yep, we're going into the next bit of Mass Effect. Just brightness until the center image is clearly visible. I think we should be good. Okie dokie then. Quick start, customize. Of course I'm going to customize, but first settings. Display tutorials, aim assist, minor assistance to help you aim at your targets. We'll see. Mission tracker, when the mission tracker is displayed in your HUD. Appear on the conversation wheel to indicate tone of the choice, yeah. Off in gameplay and conversations as equipped. Do I want him to keep his helmet on in conversations, or do I want him to just take it off? I'll leave that for now. Audio. I'll fiddle around with that later. Language. English. Graphics. Any subtitles? Oh, let's get to customizing then. Completely new character. Completely new story, completely new galaxy. Probably not going to be as good as the original trilogy, but then again, I don't think anything ever will. And unfortunately, it sounds like this is pretty much going to be abandoned for Mass Effect 5, since this apparently didn't do well or didn't sell enough at the bad launch or stuff, but which is unfortunate, but who knows? Maybe they could appear at some point in Mass Effect 5 somehow. I don't know. Because it's unfortunate that we'll only get this game with these people. Gender, I'll go male. Start with this. Whoa, pasty. Pasty white, jeez. I don't want to make him too dark, though. That's a bit too light. I'd go with something like this. Okay, that's nice. Oh, brow height. All these finicky things. Oh, this is gonna take a while for me. Cheek. I never really think about this kind of thing, though. Chin. I might just edit a bunch of this out. I don't know. Eyes, height. Depth. Oh, this just looks weird. Width. Mouth. Oh boy. Nose. I guess. Air. What do we got? I'll just go bold. What are we starting with? Two is a possibility. I like a little bit of bang when it's a bit too short. And now we're getting into the female variety. Let's see. I think I might go 4. Or 2. Let's see what that's like for now. Wait. Color. Oh yeah, we got the crazy ones. Jeez, that's bright. Yeah, I'm going brown. Facial hair. Nothing's really screaming. Inner. Oh, is this like closer to the iris? Could I zoom in? Let's just see what the styles are like. I'm not going to put any eyeliner on, of course. Scars. Ooh, that's fancy. What the heck happened to your face to get that? I don't think I really need a scar. Tattoos. Of course, gotta have the skull. Do I want like a neck tattoo or something? Hmm. And change my eyebrows? I don't know if it's just me, but I look a bit Asian. Eyes. And my eyebrows, I just... probably do something like that. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. Jeez. Why are your eyebrows connected to your skin complexion? Is this my actual skin tone? Guess I'm going with this one. I honestly don't mind the blue. Like a dark blue. Something like that. Okay, so it's gonna be our Ryder. I guess so. Training. Special training Ryder received in the Milky Way before joining the Andromeda initiative. Determines what power you'll have from the start and what skills you'll gain early access to. Currently, security. During your Alliance military service, you focused on learning everything you could about Okay. Everything you could about weapons and tactics. Starting power, concussive shot. You were effectively designated biotic during your Alliance military tenure, assisting your cohorts with your ability to control Mass Effect fields. Throw. As a technician in the Systems Alliance military, you learned to operate drones and hack enemy systems. Overload. You were a team player and a natural leader in the Alliance military, working closely with your cohorts for their safety and the safety of others. Energy drain. When a fight broke out, you were always the first soldier in the thick of it, mostly according to Alliance military protocol, and occasionally not. Charge. In the Alliance military, you studied covert operations and the tech used by special forces, knowledge you rarely found a use for until the Andromeda initiative. Tactical cloak. Ooh. Shifting aura of Mass Effect fields around you to slowly damage nearby foes. Hacking. Biotics. Security. Massive short-term boost to weapon fire rate and thermal clip. Increased durability and the option to carry more weapons into battle. I'm thinking I might go with security or leader. I'm sure it doesn't really matter, but... Concussive shot, turbocharge, and combat fitness. Overload, invasion, and team support. Do I want overload or concussive shot? I was looking at overload. Let's go with leader. Choose name. You know what? I'm actually going to stick with Scott because I know that there are a few rare instances where they actually refer to you by your first name if you stick with Scott. Customize twin. I'll just go with the default. My skin looks way too... His appearance can either adapt to your player's customization or remain as the default version. With this option on, Alex's appearance will be based on your customized Ryder. Setting this off will use Alex Ryder's default appearance. Was Shepard male or female? Male. I think this is what I'm going with. Yeah, I'll go with this. Going with leader. Scott. This is my twin. My dad. Male shepherd. Okay, let's begin. Off to Andromeda. Players who are more interested in story than combat, challenge level is low. Intended for players inexperienced with shooters, somewhat reduced. Players with experience playing shooters and RPGs, baseline. Players looking for a challenge, advanced gameplay skills required. Intended for players seeking the ultimate challenge. We're going normal. Let's begin.
Every great moment in our history began with a dream. Each bold leap forward was achieved by those willing to do anything to attain it. We are, all of us, leaving behind families, homes, the very birthplace of our species. Some for discovery, to see the unknown. Others for a new start. But today, whatever our reasons, we take the first steps toward a new future for humanity. Today, we begin to make our dream reality.
Deep breaths. You're gonna want to take it easy.
I've been taking it easy for 600 years.
Ryder, Scott, Recon Specialist, Pathfinder Mission Team.
Pathfinder team, eh? The ones finding us a home.
Can you make it somewhere tropical? Nice, warm ocean, summer year-round?
How about we get him a cup of coffee first?
The selection process saw the Andromeda Initiative evaluate thousands of potential habitable planets within the galaxy.
Scott Ryder, let's get you checked out. Look here.
After discovering an unusually high ratio of potential candidates, or golden worlds, the Helios cluster was selected as our destination. Now you are a part of the first wave of ARCs arriving in Andromeda, our new home for humanity.
Makes it sound so easy, doesn't it?
Even if it isn't, we'll be ready.
I hope so.
You know something?
Word came down. The Pathfinder wants you all mission ready within the hour. Look this way?
Why the rush?
He didn't say. But something's up. Okay, everything checks out. Just one more thing before I send you on your way. Let's test your SAM implant. Sam, are you monitoring? Sam, are you online?
Yes, Dr. Taparo. Good morning, Ryder. Are you feeling well?
I just need a second to get my bearings. What's this about my implant?
A routine check. After being in stasis, we want to make sure the connection's still live.
As the team's mission computer, your well-being is my primary concern.
Assuming the implants work as advertised. Sam sees what you see, in theory. We won't know for sure until we get you in the field. How are you feeling, otherwise?
I'm ready to get to it.
Readings confirmed. I detect an increased level of adrenaline in your system. The neural implant is functioning properly.
Caffeine always did make me jumpy.
You're all done. Let's get you on your way. Though you may want to hang around while we revive your sister, it always helps to see a familiar face.
I don't like the sound of that.
What's happening?
It broke free.
Just hang on!
Engineering, report. Try to brace yourself.
Gravity cryobase offline.
Careful with
I'm
the
almost
syringe.
inside. Hold on.
This is Cora. I'm at the cryo bay. Brace for a reset. Everyone okay?
I think so.
What happened?
We're not sure. Sensors are scrambled. But it's good to see you're up. Feels like centuries since we spoke.
This is the Pathfinder. Mission teams continue preparations. Cora, Riders, report to the bridge.
You heard him. Let's get...
We have a problem over here. It's Sarah Ryder.
Why is it that every time I do a create a character, I always make my face rounder than my actual face is? I'm not good at judging these character creation things, I guess. Okay, meet your father, the Pathfinder on the Hyperion's Bridge. Okay. The initiative was built by the efforts of thousands who devoted years of time and countless resources to reach the Andromeda galaxy. These are the people, places, and organizations that make the Pathfinder's mission possible. Officially designated as a simulated adaptive matrix, I am an artificial intelligence that acts as a coordinating element between the Pathfinder, Alec Ryder, and the rest of his team. My quantum processing power is used to conduct on-the-spot scans of alien worlds, assist in scientific study or tactical situations, and monitor the team's weapons and equipment. I am physically located on Arc Hyperion, in secure server banks collectively known as SAM node. While my primary connection is to Alec Ryder via a neural implant, I effectively serve as a mission computer for all team members during Pathfinder operations. I also collate and analyze data from numerous sources and compile it for later study. I am tasked with authorizing and updating the Pathfinder team codex based on available information and discoveries as they are made. Brainchild of the visionary billionaire Gian Garson, the Andromeda Initiative was conceived as Garson's personal dream and a desire to prove humanity's capabilities beyond the military power demonstrated in the First Contact War. Garson officially began planning the initiative in 2172, announcing her ambitious goal and launching a pioneering colonization effort to Andromeda within 20 years. Internal reports showed the struggles that the early initiative faced. However, Gian Garson's personal stake and enthusiasm sustained the initiative until the early 2180s, when, after a sudden influx of investment and a new marketing strategy, interest in the initiative grew afresh. Construction of the arcs was completed rapidly thereafter, and the Andromeda Initiative officially launched in 2185. The initiative's mission statement is to bridge Andromeda and the Milky Way, create a sustainable, inclusive civilization, and push scientific development forward by centuries. In official literature, Gian Garson characterizes the initiative as continuing the search for humanity's next horizon. So I believe these launched before Mass Effect 3. Which is kind of confusing, because if we were able to basically chart out habitable or possibly habitable planets in another galaxy, how the heck did we not learn about the Reapers beforehand? Because remember, they went right through our defenses all the way to Earth before we realized it. How the heck did we not know this? Ammunition block, solid block of metal loaded into a gun. Sand-sized particles are sheared off by the gun's targeting mechanism and then fired as projectiles, allowing a single block to give ammunition for multiple combat encounters. Citadel, massive ancient space station in the Milky Way that acted as the political and cultural center of the galaxy. Comm buoy, communication buoy that relays data through corridors of mass-free space. Extranet, publicly accessible information network across the Milky Way akin to a planetary internet on a galactic scale. Such a network is slowly being developed in Andromeda while communications are established. Hard suit, exploration/combat suit, usually armed with titanium or ceramic plating and equipped with kinetic barriers to protect against hostile fire and environmental hazards. Heat sink, also known as thermoclip, detachable coolant-filled sink used to prevent weapons from overheating. They must be ejected and replaced regularly during firefights. Flash forging, immediate manufacture of a usually short-lived object from raw materials using an omni-tool or other fabrication device. Omni-blades are typically flash forged. FTL, faster than light travel. Kinetic barrier, also known as shield, used to repel fast-moving projectiles, but does not defend against melee attacks. High-gravity kinetic barriers protect starships from debris. Mass accelerator, railgun that lowers the mass of a projectile and then hurls it at a relativistic speeds. Sufficient acceleration allows even tiny projectiles to impact with tremendous force. Mass relay, network of mass transit facilities across the Milky Way used to immediately transport starships hundreds of light years. No such network exists in Andromeda. Medigel, sterile medicinal salve that bonds to flesh, immediately sealing injuries against bleeding or infection. Can be removed with a small ultrasonic pulse. Manufacturing. Small-scale manufacturing of 3D objects, often on the battlefield or for emergency repairs. Omnigel, compound of alloy, ceramic, and other materials suspended in a semi-molten state, used with an Omni tool to build small 3D objects almost instantly. OSD, optical storage disk, can contain data or the blueprints and programming used in manufacturing. QEC, quantum entanglement communication, instantaneous communication using two particles that are linked at a quantum level. Founder of the Andromeda Initiative, Garson was one of humanity's wealthiest and most eccentric entrepreneurs in the Milky Way. Her business interests were wide-ranging as she made her fortune from investments in a myriad of technology-related fields. Always a maverick, it was her vision of traveling to a new galaxy that set the Andromeda Initiative in motion. Ignoring skeptics and naysayers, Garson spent vast sums of money building or acquiring the necessary technology and ships to make the long voyage possible. It was a private venture entirely funded by Garson, so as to remain free from any government oversight. In 2185, Garson began the long journey to Andromeda aboard the support hub, Nexus. In a speech given on the eve of departure, she remarked on the collective knowledge and history represented by the Arks. We carry all these things like the honed tools of an artist, to our great empty canvas. To Andromeda, we go to paint our masterpiece. Garson is slated to serve as the overall leader of the initiative upon arrival. Intergalactic travel was the topic of extranet discussion in the Milky Way for centuries. Several Asari and Solarian-led expeditions were proposed over the years, but petered out due to lack of interest, insufficient funds, or engineering hurdles. The Andromeda Initiative use of AI like myself allowed many of the technical problems to be solved, but invited disapproval from the Turian hierarchy and the system's alliance. Building a fleet of dreadnought-sized arcs with private funding required delicate negotiations with the Citadel Council, and the advanced technology essential to survive in Andromeda was often acquired by unorthodox means. Official initiative records show the Nexus departed first in 2185, escorted by a small squadron of fighters for protection, followed by 4 arcs that comprised the initial launch wave. Additional vessels were in development, including a Quarian-led ship accommodating multiple species, but construction was slow due to their diverse requirements, and the second launch wave was delayed. Initiative observers remain optimistic. And unfortunately, that is only shown in a book, because they are not in this game. Pathfinders are the tip of the spear for exploring new worlds. While planetary surveying is typically a long-term, multi-team process, the initiative found an alternative, thanks to Alec Ryder's AI research. An individual equipped with the best training and technology available, and an AI partner that can run complex studies in seconds and 100 test simulations a minute. With AI support, Pathfinders can determine within hours whether a planet is suitable for habitation and direct the Nexus as to what colonist block stands the best chance there. Pathfinders are trained to improve the viability of potential planets, initiate first contact with unknown species, find suitable outpost sites, and handle any external threats before the first colonist touches soil. The presence of a Pathfinder is a reassurance that a planet can be settled safely and with a high expectation of success. Jeez Louise, this is going to be a while, so sorry if we don't get much gameplay in this. Archaeological evidence shows that abundant Thessian resources and their natural tendency to cooperate helped ancient Asari develop city building, writing, and agriculture unusually early. The tone of research papers suggests this is a point of pride for Asari scholars. After studying a number of Prothean ruins and developing their space program, Asari astronauts found their way to the Citadel, the most advanced station in the Milky Way, deserted since the Prothean extinction. Later, when Solarian explorers reached the station, the Asari proposed a joint government eventually known as the Citadel Council. The Asari have played a fundamental role in galactic politics ever since. Asari commandos served with distinction in the Rachni Wars, despite heavy losses, and Krogan occupation of the Asari colony Lucia was the tipping point for the Krogan rebellions. In recent years, the Asari have devoted themselves to diplomatic service, including helping to negotiate the 2157 human-Turian ceasefire. Is it recent if we're 500 years in the future, though? Renowned for their long lifespan, biotic ability, and diplomatic nature, the Asari were one of the most influential species in the Milky Way. Asari explorers were the first to discover the immense Citadel Station, and it was the Asari who first proposed the creation of the Citadel Council. Asari are monogendered. Their unique physiology allows them to reproduce with any species via a form of parthenogenesis, passing on genetic traits to their daughters. Almost all Asari are biotic, and the control over their nervous system allows them to hone their powers to heights few other species can match. An Asari can live for 1,000 years, passing through life stages, referred to as maiden, matron, and matriarch. Asari matriarchs are ancient and respected, often holding immense cultural and economic power, though no such frameworks exist in the Helios cluster. The Asari come from Thessia, whose vast Element Zero deposits form the basis of the most powerful economy in the Milky Way. Living in small city-states, the natural Asari tendency to cooperate led to the loose conglomerate known as the Asari Republics. Government operates as an e-democracy. Policy discussions take place over the extranet and are open to all. Decisions are made by consensus, or with the advice of politically minded matriarchs. The Asari military is relatively small and informal, but no less lethal. Small units of volunteer Asari commandos, also known as huntresses, handled peacekeeping operations in Asari space, and were among the first Council Spectres. Their 1,000-year lifespan gives most Asari a long view of events, investments, social programs, and environmental policies trend toward long-term rather than short-term rewards. This approach drew many Asari to the Andromeda Initiative, undaunted by the centuries-long journey. Though they appear feminine to many species, Asari are a monogendered species. During reproduction, they provide 2 sets of genes to their daughters in a form of parthenogenesis, with a second set modified by contact with a partner. During Asari melding, an Asari attunes her nervous system to her partner, giving and receiving electrical impulses through the skin until the two briefly become in one unified nervous system. This fine control over their nervous systems contributes to the Asari talent for biotics. Few species can train the level of control that most Asari have by nature. Since joining the Citadel, Asari prefer to mate outside their own species, claiming that this fosters development and understanding. It also reduces incidences of Ardak Yakshi, pure-blooded Asari, who suffer a dangerous genetic disorder. If Asari are compatible with life in Andromeda, that will prove several theories about the fundamental building blocks of life. The Systems Alliance is a supranational government that spearheads human space exploration and settlement in the Milky Way. The Alliance is responsible for the governance and defense of extrasolar colonies and stations, and officially represents humanity on the Citadel Council. The Alliance was founded out of necessity, as no single nation could fund and manage the rapid expansion of humanity from Sol. The discovery of Prothean ruins on Mars had proven that alien contact was inevitable, earning international support for the Alliance that solidified after Alliance forces liberated Shang-Chi in the First Contact War. Archived extranet articles and Jean Garson staff bulletins revealed tensions between the Alliance and the Andromeda Initiative. Construction of dreadnought-sized ships and persistent rumors of AI development, which could have damaged humanity's standing on the Citadel, led to the Alliance demanding to oversee the Initiative's labs and shipyards. Negotiations continued until the day of the Initiative's departure. Located 2.5 million light-years from the Milky Way, the Andromeda Galaxy is the largest galaxy in the local group. Also categorized as M31, Andromeda is a spiral galaxy roughly 220,000 light-years in diameter, containing approximately 1 trillion stars, compared to the Milky Way's 300 million. The Helios cluster is a large star cluster located on the galaxy's outer fringe. Andromeda has roughly 14 satellite galaxies, which orbit the galactic disk. Evidence shows a disturbance where one of these companion galaxies, M32, passed through Andromeda's spiral arm several million years ago. Andromeda itself is also accelerating toward the Milky Way at roughly 100 kilometers per second. In roughly 4 billion years, the Andromeda and Milky Way galaxies will collide and merge, forming a new galactic disk. Omni-tools are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, an Omni-tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor, from a distance. The holographic haptic interface also functions as a communication device. With sufficient Omnigel or other raw materials, usually converted from salvaged light alloys, plastics, or ceramics, an OmniTools fabrication module can flash forge small three-dimensional objects or emergency suit patches. This allows quick repairs or modifications in the field. The Andromeda Initiative's OmniTools are designed for reliability and efficient recycling of materials. Pathfinder OmniTools take design inspiration from the models used by Solarian intelligence services, prioritizing the computer microframe to allow lag-free scanning and AI support. Charting the Andromeda Galaxy for habitable planets presented a unique challenge. Observation is limited by light, and given Andromeda's distance, any observations from the Milky Way are 2.5 million years out of date, enough time for a planet to have altered irrevocably. Initial attempts to identify settlement sites were made by obtaining astronomical surveys and running them through predictive modules, but Gene Garson was unwilling to risk thousands of colonists without solid information. Eventually, the initiative obtained promising data from Quarian explorers who claimed to have found a Geth array on the fringe of the Perseus Veil. This array was supposedly built from 3 mass relays, using sensors in the combined relay corridor as a form of FTL telescope to observe dark space beyond the galactic rim. Why the Geth expended so much effort to study dark space is not known. Amongst these observations were near-contemporary surveys of Andromeda. When our predictive models confirmed them with an acceptable margin, the initiative was able to begin identifying golden worlds. For many species, early long-range exploration relied on cryogenic stasis. Without modern FTL capability or long-distance transit methods like mass relays, the distances involved in space travel meant that most crews would die of old age before reaching their destination. Cryogenic stasis gradually lowers the body's temperature enough to slow its vital functions, but not low enough for damaging ice crystals to form, before the pod generates a mass effect stasis field that suspends both the individual and the interior environment in the pod. Contrary to depictions in popular media, the individual is not conscious of time passing. From most travelers' perspectives, they lie down in the pod only to be awoken moments later. Stasis failure, while regrettably common for early expeditions, has been vastly improved over the years. Even in the event of catastrophic system failure, multiple monitoring VIs and failsafes are in place to initiate an emergency wake-up. Element Zero, also known as EZO, the raw material known as Element Zero generates a field when subjected to an electrical current, which raises or lowers the mass of all objects within it. This mass effect forms the basis of modern technology, from weapons and manufacturing to enabling faster-than-light travel. Element Zero is generated when solid matter, such as a planet, is affected by the energy of a star going supernova. The material is common in the asteroid debris that orbit neutron stars and pulsars, though mining such regions is extremely hazardous and requires significant investment. Various isotopes of Element Zero have been identified, though the rarest have only ever been observed in laboratory conditions. Surveys of the Helios cluster suggested the region is rich in Element Zero, which was a deciding factor in the Andromeda Initiative's decision to settle there. Without EZO, the Initiative's technology would quickly become obsolete. A starship travels faster than light using an Element Zero drive core. In special relativity, an object approaching light speed effectively gains in mass until it would take infinite energy to propel it. But a negative electrical current running through an EZO drive core lowers the starship's mass, allowing it to travel at FTL speeds. Motive force is provided by the ship's thrusters, chemical rockets, commercial fusion torch, or military anti-proton drive, in addition to the FTL drive core. Without thrusters, the ship has no ability to move. Standard drive cores build up a static charge during operation and must be discharged periodically. Otherwise, the core discharges into the ship itself, with catastrophic results. The Initiative's drive cores, intended for long-term voyages, are designed to recycle or reduce static buildup. Element Zero can increase or decrease the mass of a volume of space-time when subjected to an electrical current. With a positive current, mass is increased. With a negative current, mass is decreased. The stronger the current, the greater the magnitude of the dark energy mass effect. In space, low mass effect fields allow FTL travel and inexpensive surface-to-orbit transit. High mass fields create artificial gravity and push space debris away from vessels. In manufacturing, low mass fields permit the creation of evenly blended alloys, while high mass compaction creates dense, sturdy construction materials. The Andromeda Initiative's technology relies heavily on mass effect fields, from reduced mass supply drops for outposts to the impressive long-range drive cores of the ARCs. ARC Hyperion serves as the main vessel for carrying human settlers bound for Andromeda. Named after a Greek mythological figure associated with knowledge of celestial bodies, the Hyperion represents a breakthrough in intergalactic travel. Substantial money and resources were devoted to its construction, all privately funded by Gian Garson and the Andromeda Initiative. But to withstand the rigors of a nearly 2.5 million light-year voyage, the Hyperion is outfitted with ODSY drive core technology, which allows the ship to make a 600-year voyage safely at FTL speeds. It features enough stasis pods to accommodate approximately 20,000 settlers and crew. ARC Hyperion left the Milky Way in 2185 as part of the initial wave of departures, under the command of Captain Nozomi Dunn. Huh. So, are subtitles just automatic? Load, settings, difficulty, display tutorials, aim assist, auto level, mission tracker, display conversation icons. Oh. I did not realize there was more down here. There's subtitles. Let's go off in conversations for both. And just because, let's save the game. Cannot be manually saved during a priority mission. Oh. Automatically at checkpoints.
What's wrong?
I don't know. Have to check it out.
Did the world just turn?
Enjoy your nap, Ryder? Don't think I'll need sleep for the rest of my life. Maybe another decade or two wouldn't have hurt. Right. Talk to you later.
Please report any further variances.
See you around.
Hey there. Hell of a wake-up call, huh? Didn't expect that first thing out of stasis.
Makes two of us. Hang in there.
Catch you later. Well, give it a second for the process.
I need damage assessment updates.
Did the seals break?
No. Physical integrity looks good.